Hello and a warm welcome, as always, to the Internet of Things Made Simple podcast. I'm Larry Bohumer. This is mini episode number 32. Many thanks for taking time to join us. Congrats on choosing to boost your IoT knowledge. I've been asked a few times as to whom this podcast might most appeal to. To start, it's for those who want to learn more about IoT and how it's changing our lives. It may be for your own personal interest. Maybe you're considering IoT as a potential career path, and I highly recommend doing that. Or maybe your spouse or loved one is involved in the world of IoT, and you just want to learn more about what they do for a living and what the heck they're talking about with their colleagues. We try to keep this light, using terms that you might use in real life, so hopefully you'll find this useful. As a reminder, we have a webpage, the Internet of Things Made Simple.com, which has a lot of colorful and interactive ebooks on IoT, some blog posts, and it's the first place we post podcasts. Kind of a sneak peek, if you would. Finally, as always, we humbly ask that you subscribe to this podcast using your favorite podcast service. And if that podcast service allows you to leave a comment or review, kindly do so. In this podcast, we're going to continue the theme which we had over part of the summer of reviewing some smart home products by talking about smart lighting, and in particular, the Philips Hue system. We'll cover a bit of a primer on the idea of smart lights, cover a review of the Philips Hue system, go over who may wish to use one of these systems, or something similar for that matter, and maybe a surprise or two along the way. For those of you who are more into the business side of IoT, we're going to be doing a number of upcoming podcasts that be more up your alley, including some potential criticism about cities moving towards becoming a smart city. As well, we're going to launch another short series of podcasts in September, this one focusing on walking a company or organization through all the steps of an IoT integration. Be sure to tune in for those. To kick things off, what exactly is a smart light? The idea of having lighting systems that do more than just turn on with a switch is far from new. People have been using timers to turn lights on and off at certain times, and motion sensor-based systems are quite common, especially for security-oriented lighting like floodlights. Smart lights build upon these concepts by adding two different things: intelligence and connectivity. The lighting system will incorporate data, like it did before, but modern artificial intelligence solutions, or AI for short, allow for actions to be taken based on that data. If a system learns that an area tends to be empty at a certain time of day, it can turn the lights off on its own. It can also interact with other systems, say smart blinds. Imagine you live in a sunny place like I do here in Calgary. You, like me, might just love natural light. Your system could do all the work by opening up the blinds so it had natural light, and then lowering down the amount of light from the lighting system. Connectivity is the second part that being smart adds. Simply, you're able to communicate with your lighting system using the internet, normally in the form of a smartphone or tablet app. You can turn on lights remotely, such as to give the impression that you are home when you actually are not. You can also have your exterior lights come on when you're pulling into your driveway and then turn back off when you're inside your home. There are a number of manufacturers in this space. For this podcast, I'm going to talk about the Philips Hue system, which I use in my home. As I mentioned earlier, there are several players in this space. I did some research and chose the Philips Hue system. The reason was partly to do with its name. It's a well-known company, its ease of use, and the availability of products that you can connect to it. Most of the people listening are familiar with Philips, which to me was a selling point. They usually make decent products on the lighting side, so there's a bit of comfort there. At least there was for me. The Hue system works by connecting a base, which is a thing that's about the size of a dinner plate, I guess, to your local internet connection. I chose to hardwire using Ethernet, but you can use Wi-Fi. And then you connect the lights and other products to the base via a short area wireless system. There are systems now that allow you to connect light bulbs directly to your smart assistant, like products from Amazon, Google, or Apple. The hub was not that expensive, and I like the fact that I can add or change personal assistants without affecting my lights. Setting up the hub was quite easy. It's like plugging in any other electronics device. It's relatively small and decent looking, so that wasn't much of an issue. The same goes for setting up the Philips application, the Hue application, on your smartphone or tablet. Like most, you have to register an account, and this allows you to access your lights from anywhere that you have internet connectivity. I have a number of different products set up, including traditional light bulbs, garden lights, and spotlights. Most people will start by installing traditional light bulbs to replace the lights they have now. Wanting to keep things simple, I use the Philips brand. I'm sure you can save money by opting for others, but I was more concerned about interactivity and ease of use. Once you take out your old light, and install the new one, yes, simply by screwing it in, you ask the app to find the light bulb. I have over a dozen lights installed, and all of them were found in a matter of seconds. After naming the light, you can then proceed to put them into a room or a zone. A room, as an example, might be your living room, while a zone might be outside for all of your outside lights. Once installed, you control all aspects of a light. Yeah, you can turn it on and off, which is obvious, but you can also dim down the light, which may be ideal for many applications. The bigger benefit, though, comes from establishing routines. Routines are just that. You can manipulate your lights based on a pre-established schedule. Want all of your outside lights to come on at a certain time or at sunset? Easy to do. Want your kids' nightlight to come on at a certain time to tell them to go to bed? That's a snap. Beyond using just basic light bulbs, there are other ones you can use as well. I have several lights in my patio from Philips that go beyond simple light. They can be set up to have a wide spectrum of colors on the lights individually or in tandem, so we make certain color combinations for Halloween. If you want to go further, you can use spotlights or uplights, which we've done. We have 3 controllable lights that are able to form a bit of a spotlight in front of our home. We have different setups for different holidays and even to root for local sports teams. There are a number of lights that we have yet to install, like string lights, highlighting systems to enhance the back of your TV, and much more. So would I recommend the Philips Hue system? In the next segment, we're going to cover who may wish to look at smart lights, but this is just about the Hue system itself. So far, no issues to report. It is a bit of a premium system, as the bulbs are more expensive, and there was obviously a small investment in the hub. If you're looking to set up just 1 or 2 lights, and only to have simple control of them, I would not recommend this system, as there are better alternatives. However, if you're looking at controlling a number of lights, especially offering colored ones, the Hue offers a very compelling option. Should you look at installing smart lights at all? As a society, we've managed to do quite well for well over a century since the light bulb was invented by using them in dumb mode. Do you really need these? Need? Probably not. But there are some benefits to using smart lights. If you tend to leave lights on all the time, smart lights will help to reduce unnecessary use when no one's there, so it's logical to think that they're going to reduce your overall electricity bill. As well, the aspect of safety is very important to their appeal. Having lights turned on when you're not home may reduce the chance of a break-in, and having lights come on to greet you when you arrive at home may help to prevent an unwanted attack. The combination of smart lights and a smart security system, like what we covered in a previous podcast where we review the Ring home security system, will definitely help make your place less desirable to potential thieves. Is there a downside to using smart lights? I would not list cost here, as the ability to reduce the intensity of a smart light, something you can't easily do on a regular light bulb, and only have them used when they're needed, should help to pay for the cost of a system itself. The only downside I can see, it's what I mentioned before in other systems, is security. In theory, someone can take over your lighting system and cause issues. However, if you keep the old light bulbs handy, you can simply install them if needed, so I don't see much of an issue here. To summarize, if you're out a lot or tend to leave lights on unnecessarily, it's an absolute no-brainer to put one of these systems in. Even if you do not, the low cost of some of the more simple systems make it a good value for most homeowners. Many thanks for taking time out of your busy day to listen to this podcast. If you have a product or service that you want us to review, kindly drop us a note. The best place to start is our Facebook page, The Internet of Things Made Simple. We also have links to other material there. If I'm personally connected to you on LinkedIn, drop me a note through that service. And if we're personally connected via old-fashioned ways like text and email, send me a note that way. Be sure to join us for our upcoming series on how business can get started in their IoT journey. Many thanks. Take care. I'm Larry Humor.